A ground squirrel explodes from the prairie floor, only to find danger waiting in both directions. Behind it, a badger is tearing into the burrow wall. Ahead, a coyote is already turning to run. In the next few minutes, this prey will rely on speed, timing, and a maze of hidden exits. Together, these two hunters reveal one of the strangest temporary alliances on the grasslands of North America. The pairing makes little sense at first glance. Coyotes and American badgers do not belong to the same social world. One is a long-legged canid built to see across open country and sprint after anything that breaks into daylight. The other is a low, muscular specialist with forelimbs and claws made for attacking the burrow problem directly. Yet researchers have documented them hunting in association, especially where the prey survives by vanishing underground. To understand why that matters, look at the prey's side of the story. Burrowing rodents depend on warning, distance to the nearest hole, and a tunnel system full of second chances. A ground squirrel can feed in the open 1 second, then disappear completely the next. If danger comes from above, it dives down. If danger comes through one tunnel, it may surface somewhere else. For a lone predator, that network is a constant frustration. The badger's answer is brood access. It moves low through the grass, nose near the ground, reading scent and fresh soil. When it commits, it digs with startling speed, hurling dirt behind itself and collapsing a chosen entrance. A badger does not need the prey to stay visible. It pressures the system itself. But even a skilled digger can lose when a rodent slips through a side route and reaches open ground before the tunnel closes. The coyote solves the problem differently. It patrols the colony edge, pausing to watch and calculate where a frightened animal might surface next. Compared with the badger, it is better built for distance, angle, and sudden acceleration. What it cannot do well is invade the maze below. If the rodent stays underground too long, the coyote is left reading only hints. A flick of grass, a dust puff, a shape that appears and vanishes almost instantly. Now the logic of the partnership appears. The badger pressures the hidden world below. The coyote covers the exposed world above. The prey is still dangerous to hunt, but some of its safest options begin to shrink. This is not a friendship or a perfect team in the human sense. It is an alliance of convenience that can help either hunter, sometimes both, and sometimes neither. On this representative morning, the first attempt nearly proves how fragile the arrangement is. The badger opens one side of the colony, forcing movement underground. A squirrel bursts from a distant exit. The coyote launches at once, but the rodent cuts sharply across bare earth and dives back toward another hole. The badger reaches that entrance almost in time. Dirt sprays, the squirrel vanishes, and both predators are left with only a new guess about where the tunnel bends next. That failure matters because it shows what this relationship is really built on: pressure, not certainty. The coyote widens its arc and watches a quieter cluster of openings. The badger shifts to fresher sign and begins again. Above ground, the colony seems still, but the stillness is deceptive. Somewhere below, the prey is making its own calculations, searching for a route that avoids teeth in the open and claws at the door. Then the geometry changes. A squirrel appears behind the coyote, vanishes, and forces a reset. The coyote pivots too late. The badger pauses, checks scent, and abandons one line of attack. For a moment, the association loosens. These hunters do not move like choreographed partners. They separate, overlap, and reconnect according to the praise. Choices and the shape of the burrow system beneath them, but the pressure has not ended. The coyote settles near a less obvious escape lane and lowers its posture. The badger approaches from another angle and starts to open fresh ground. Now the colony grows tense. One squirrel rises halfway out of a hole, sees the coyote, and drops back underground. Another root collapses under the badger's digging. Each failed exit tells the prey something important, and each denied exit tells the predators something too. When the decisive moment comes, it comes fast. The badger erupts beside an active tunnel with a forceful burst of soil. From a far exit, a squirrel shoots into daylight at full speed. The coyote reacts instantly, but it does not simply chase from behind. Instead, it cuts the angle, trying to meet the prey where panic will send it next. The squirrel zigzags past one opening, then another, searching for a safe entrance that is not blocked, collapsed, or already covered. For a second, the whole relationship becomes visible in one moving puzzle. The badger's work has turned the burrow field into a shrinking map of bad choices. The coyote turns that confusion into a pursuit problem. The squirrel nearly reaches another hole, veers, commits to one final sprint across exposed dirt, and loses the gamble. The interception is quick and non-graphic. The end of a chain of pressure that began below ground long before the coyote closed in above it. Even so, the lesson is not that these two hunters always win. Many such encounters fail. Some end with the prey escaping underground. Some may benefit the coyote more than the badger. Others may pay off for the badger, while the coyote gains nothing. What makes the association remarkable is not guaranteed success, but the way two very different predators can sometimes reduce the same prey's options by attacking different parts of its world, and that changes the meaning of the opening image. What looked like one small animal trapped between two enemies was really a demonstration of the grasslands deeper logic. One hunter rules the tunnel edge, the other rules the burst into daylight. Between them, a burrow is no longer only a refuge, it becomes a battleground of exits and timing. Where a ground squirrel exploding from the prairie floor may discover that danger is waiting in both directions.